Alright, I know that we have all really wanted to get over 2020, but hear me out, okay? So, I was talking to a friend of mine and she asked me to watch and review Sadak 2. So I was like, what? Don't you know I'm from Pakistan? We don't watch Indian movies there. And she's like, so then she asked me to open up the music application on my phone. And when I did open it, I noticed that 90% of the songs in there were Indian. So I was like, damn, she's got a point. So I got the subscription of Hotstar specifically to watch that movie legally, which might not be true, but we'll just believe that for this video. And I can tell you that I wasted the money. Now, you must be wondering, how did you come up with the third crappiest movie of the year? Well, I watched other movies too, and this was the third worst. I ranked them. Alright, so if you don't know, this movie is a byproduct of nepotism. Because all the main actors in there are star kids. Also, I'm not really going to review the movie, but we're gonna go through what actually happens and some of the scenes that were funny, but like they weren't supposed to be funny, you know? So the movie is basically about fake babas and how you shouldn't believe them. Anyway, so it starts off with like a dark forest where people are donating their gold jewelry, and Alia Bhatt is somewhere hiding behind the forest, and she goes through it quietly, and then she writes Badla on a tent. But then she burns off the tent, so I didn't really understand what the point of writing Badla was. And it turns out that her parents are Baba followers, but she's against it because her mom was killed by her stepmother, who's also her mother's sister. It's messed up, I know. On the other hand, there's Sanjay Dutt, who's got a link from the last movie, like the first part, but I hadn't watched it, so didn't really get some of those parts. But what I can tell is that he was in love with this woman from the first part, but now that she's dead, he's very upset and he wants to kill himself because, you know, his wife is gone and he doesn't really have a meaning to live. And then there's this funny scene where a dog comes in. Actually, I'll let you guys watch it and then we'll come back. Did you see that? He's literally talking to a dog. I guess it might, you know, it might be a thing. But then वो बेचारा बैठा हुआ उसको जाने को बोल रहे हो आप. Also, there's this one scene where he's trying to hang himself from the fan, but then the fan breaks off the ceiling.
सब नाटक है. एक चाकू ले, अपने गर्दन पे लगा और फिर अड़ा.
So Sanjay Dutt used to drive a taxi in the first part of the movie, like Sadak 1. But in this one, he's got his own company of cars where they drop people from one spot to another, like a travel company. So the next day, he's trying another way to kill himself, but then Alia Bhatt knocks on his door and she wants to take her to some holy place where she's gonna turn 21 and all the property of her mother, like her dead mother, is gonna be hers, and her parents are after it because they're under the control of that Baba. Remember? So Sanjay Dutt is like, go away, I'm busy trying to kill myself and you're ruining my plans. And she goes, well, 2 months ago, your wife took my booking and now that she's dead, you gotta do it for her. So then he's basically forced to take this random girl to her destination. Now on the way, they have to pick up her lover who's coming out of jail. But when you look at him, it looks like he's coming from a vacation or something. Doesn't look like he's coming out of a jail. When he gets into the car, obviously he's seeing his lover after a long time, but Sanjay Dutt pulls down that sun cover thing, that, what is that thing called? Tells them that they're not allowed to do personal shit in the car. So then they get their heads out of the sunroof to do their romantic business. What? Oh, I forgot. From the jail, this guy brings a cage with an owl in it. I don't know who carries an owl with them to the jail, but I mean, I'm not judging their pet preference here. So Sanjay Dutt drops them at a spot where they're supposed to go like by themselves to that holy place, but they forget that owl cage in the car. And obviously this isn't even half of the movie yet. They get in trouble. Then movie वाले हमको बताना भूल गए थे कि ट्रैवल एंड टूर कंपनी के साथ संजय दत्त पहले जू में भी काम करते थे क्योंकि वो जानवरों से बड़ा बात करते हैं. Cause this is what happens.
और दिखा अपना कमाल.
देखो कुत्ते तक तो हमको समझ में आ रहा था, कुत्ते तक तो चलो वो बात कर लेता है, लेकिन यार ये how can you do that with an owl? By the way, keep in mind Sanjay Dutt has met this girl a day before and he's already saving her. Also, I forgot to mention Alia's parents are declaring her as being mentally ill, and Sanjay Dutt is also kind of mentally ill because he hears like his dead wife's voices when he's doing stuff. And when he's driving the car and this girl is sitting behind, his wife tells him that, you know, there's some connection with her because they never had a kid. I thought it was a weird angle, but anyway, Sanjay Dutt saves them from the bad guy. Not the main bad guys, but some of the bad guys. So towards the end of the movie, Sanjay Dutt feels like it's his responsibility to save this girl who he's met 3 days before, just by the way. And it turns out that her dad, like Alia Bhatt's dad, is the main person with the Baba. He's teamed up with him, and because Alia was gonna get all the inheritance, like of her mom, he's trying to kill her just so he could get all that wealth. I guess that was good suspense, but towards the very end, well, a little before, serves her cake with like sleeping medicines in it. So then Alia eats it and then she falls asleep, who was like the main person who was supposed to fight with her parents and the Baba by herself, is now given the full authority to Sanjay Dutt. Now Sanjay Dutt goes off to fight the Baba and her dad, gets stabbed like 5 times, gets shot, but he's very much still alive, kills all the bad guys, but then it's not clear if he dies at the very end, because you know how in the 90s movies, when someone used to die, they used to just, there was always this light coming directly out of the sky and then the protagonist would just kind of walk in there and you never know if he's really dead or not. That's what happens with him. Alia safely reaches the destination of that place where she was gonna turn 21, which I didn't really understand because she could have easily hid somewhere, turned 21, got all the money from her dead mother, and she would have been fine, which would have ended the movie right there. I guess maybe that's why they had to stretch it out, but maybe there was like a deep meaning to this that I didn't really understand and I'm too dumb for it. Now when it comes to acting, I can't really review that because I feel like I can't really judge that, but the Baba was supposed to be scary and creepy, but it was funny for me. Like I remember there was this one scene where he's dancing and it's supposed to be super creepy, but I thought it was hilarious. So that didn't work. One thing that I liked about the movie, which is also the reason why it's the 3rd crappiest movie of the year, is the music. And when I mentioned me opening the music app on my phone, couple of the songs were in there too. So also, if you disagree with anything that I said, you can check this movie's IMDb ratings or Rotten Tomatoes and you will see for yourself. Well, that pretty much wraps up the movie and it also wraps up this review. If you like it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, come back next time and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. That her parents, let's wait. We're gonna wait. अगर कोई मुझसे पूछे ना कि what is that one thing that you've loved doing since your childhood that you still love doing today, this would be my answer. चक्कर आ गए थोड़े.